Welcome, it's your friendly neighborhood badger here, and surprise, surprise, we are back. We are back for an addition to the Road to Headhunter series. Now, we ended the series, we purchased our Headhunter, and it was amazing. We had a good fun time with the Headhunter and everything like that. But there was this little itch at the back of my head that was kind of scratching and going, you've got to try this with a more efficient build and with MF as well and really see what actually happens and see the difference between the monolith farming in all of this. So that's basically what I've done, guys. I've crafted a little build here for you, and first of all, I'm just going to do a little showcase of it, but all I'm going to say is this is a VAAL arc build, which is quite fun. So I'm just going to grab an alleyways here for you, and we're just going to pop in, and we're just going to quickly show you how this build works. Extremely fun. I'm absolutely loving it. I've done 100 maps here today, but basically we go in, and we get the stacks up for our VAAL arc, and we just come through. We try and find the Legion wherever it is, which is just over here. We clear a little bit around the Legion, and we just VAAL arc. Clears absolutely everything. We just VAAL arc again, and we're done, and we pick up everything. It's like your VAAL Ice Nova, but lots more fun because it's VAAL arc. And that's pretty much it. That is how the build works. It's super exciting, super fun. Let's just pour it out here, and we'll just have a chill here, and we'll have a little bit more of a talk. So I'll quickly just go over the build, exactly how it works, what it's doing, and then I'll tell you a little bit about everything else that's going on. So the main crux of this build is this bow here, this Behemoth Thunder Citadel bow. Now this is giving me +1 to level of socketed gems, +2 to level of socketed support gems, and reduced soul cost of VAAL skills. So the reduced soul cost of VAAL skills is really important, but I'll come back to that. The big kicker is the +1 to level of gems and the +2 to socketed support gems, meaning that if we have a hover over here, our arc, coupled with an Empower level 4, is getting +1 levels from item and +6 levels from support, bringing it all the way up to a level 28 arc gem, meaning it's chaining extra amounts of times. Chain's really important for this build, as well as just extra damage to be able to clear everything properly. We're then running an Impulsors just to give some nice clear. We're running a Devotos with a little bit more move speed, with arc increased damage for each time it's chained. Also a Quiver with a corruption of an additional chain. We then have Magic Find gear, because we also wanted to see if Magic Find would change anything, otherwise known as MF. So we've got a Bisco's Leash, we've got 2 Pariah White Socket Rings, we've got a 10 quantity of items found Amulet, and Gold Worm, which is giving us a total of, I think, 65% quantity. And then we're just using some gloves to cap our resistances, so we don't actually have the Sedeema's Touch on at the moment. But we're also using a Divination Distillate, which we can keep up by using our Soul Catcher. Cannot gain mana during Flask effect, meaning that if we use Divination Distillate when we don't have full mana, that will last the full duration, giving us another about 23% quantity. So 65% quantity minimum, up to close to 90% quantity if we have Divination Distillate going. Now, how the VAAL skill works. With a VAAL Arc, we can only gain a maximum of 1 charge, which is 25 souls. However, with the reduced soul cost during Flask effect of Soul Catcher, and the reduced cost here of VAAL skills on our bow, coupled with Pathfinder extra Flask, and everything like that, we actually, instead of having 1 charge to use, we actually have 4 charges to use. And I'll show you at the end of this as well how that all works. That's pretty interesting, meaning that we can just do heaps and heaps of damage. There'll be a link below to the Pastebin of this build if you want to have a little look at that, because it's really interesting. You can have a little tweak of that if you want as well. But this is how this build is all working. Really fun and nice. So I'm just going to do one last little check for you. I'll do it a little bit slower this time so you can kind of see how this build works. The last thing I'll mention is we're doing pretty well on time, around about 54 seconds per map, and that's including getting out of the map and dumping everything, which is about 9 seconds quicker than our average alleyways time in all of the other maps that we were doing, which is pretty cool. Now we don't have the alleyway. Sorry, we don't have the Legion here, so we're going to keep going into the map here. Keep it going, and we're just going to quickly show you. So if you just want to have a look down there on the tooltip, our VAAL arc, at the moment it's saying it has one charge down there. However, if we go over here, we pop our flask, that pops all the way up to 4 charges. So we can do 2 charges on the outturn here. We didn't actually clear everything properly, which is a little bit annoying, but that's okay. So we go around and we try and find what we didn't fully clear, which was just 1 mob here, I think. Oh, no, it wasn't. And then we have another charge there to use of our VAAL arc. Wasn't the greatest demonstration, I should say, of how this build works, but that's a very terrible spot for a monolith. But we're just going to continue on. That's pretty much it, guys. I'll give you a little overview of the loot that we found. Nothing crazy, except for, 3 Exalt drops in 100 maps, which is pretty good. MF is pretty good for that as well. We got, I think, 4 Saints Treasure cards, quite a few Alleyways maps, and Divine Orb. That's pretty much it with all of that. That did total to around about 1,100, close to 1,200 chaos just in the hour and a half that we ran these maps for. Absolutely insane. So, again, doing this is super profitable. If you want to make a little bit of money at the end of the league, absolutely fine to do. And it's getting you heaps and heaps of currency. That's all I'm going to say, guys. That is me done. Until next time, I hope you guys are ready for some really, really interesting data over the next alleyways and glacier farming techniques with this new build. Badger, out.